Hello everyone. Today we're going to be making this, the wedding card that I found online. I found a picture of another card that's sort of similar to this, but I've changed it here and there, added a few things, subtracted a few things, and this is what I came up with. This is the inside, and you can barely see that, but there's a dress there, there's a few little blossoms there, and the congratulations, and I'll show you what I did there in a little bit. Alright, so let's get started. First, we're going to go with the pieces, the bits and pieces that I used. Alright, and as usual, I've pre-cut several of my things in order to cut time on the video. So you're going to use a piece of basic black, which is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to use a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Another piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 3 5/8 by 5 1/4, and let me see that a little bit better. 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. And again, I cut it out. Both of these pieces I use the Adorning Accents Edgelit, which you all know that I love by now. I'm just infatuated with these things. And in order to do that, when I set it up in on my acrylic, I think it's acrylic, I just set it to sort of that. So I gave it a decent amount of space between just where I wanted it to line up and cut it, so that when you fold it, you'll be able to see the white like that. And with this one, I pretty much took it right to the edge. So on this side, I took it right to the edge and cut it so that it didn't cut that much off. Okay? Hopefully you understand what I'm getting at there. This is just a piece of designer paper from Michaels, and I used this framelit, Nestability, from Nestability. So it's this one, let's see, in the packet it would be right about here. Okay, and then I took another piece of Very Vanilla, and I actually stamped the image down and embossed it with silver embossing powder. I don't know how well you can see the shine on that. And then I cut that one out using this label. I think they're, let's see, what are they called? They are called Labels 4. It's kind of like framelits. I just don't have the Stampin' Up! Ones, and that would be this one in the Nestabilities. Alright, so then I cut it out, and that's what I got. We are going to be using these 3 stamp sets. It's the Love and Laughter stamp set, which we're using this one, and this one, and the Congratulations. The Mixed Bunch, which I seem to be obsessed with lately as well. We're using this stamp. And we're using the French Foliage, and I'm using this stamp for that. Alright, so to begin with, I took this piece, and I've already actually done it. I used a little bit of this Stamp-a-ma-jig ink. It is Smoky Quartz, and I inked up that Blossom stamp from the Mixed Bunch. So I inked it up real well, and I just stamped it down a few times, 1, 2, 3, 4, on this piece, on the front of this piece. Okay, now the next step is taking this stamp from the French Foliage stamp set. You're going to stamp the image down on your imaging sheet with your Stamp-a-ma-jig, that comes with your Stamp-a-ma-jig, so that you can position it. And you're going to use some basic black classic Stampin' ink for that. So I've already set it up. You'll just take it and position it over that piece, this piece. Ink it up really well. And I like to kind of rub it across to get it through the center, because this stamp is very detailed. It's got all those teeny tiny little words. So you just want to make sure it's really well inked up. Stamp it down. Okay, it'll come out like that. And you're just going to keep setting your Stamp-a-ma-jig up and inking that up again over and over and over again, and just continue to stamp it down on the page. Until you've covered it. So one right after the other, after the other, after the other. And I will show you what that looks like. Okay, and this is what it'll look like when you're done. Alright, so the next step is to take a piece of the basic black taffeta ribbon, and you're going to tie it into a little knot in the front that'll look like this. And it's just on this piece right here. It's not through the black as well, it's just this piece. So I'm going to cut away and do that because it takes me forever to tie ribbons. So I'll be back when I'm done and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so here's what that looks like, and I actually went ahead and put the basic pearls on ahead of time so you can see that. Okay. Then the next thing I want to do is just take some dimensionals and adhere these two pieces together and adhere all of it to this. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you're done, and I went ahead and adhered it to the front of the basic black piece. Okay. Then the next thing you'll do is using the Love and Laughter set with the dress, these flowers, the congratulations, and that's it. You're going to ink this up in the, where is that smoky quartz Stamp-a-ma-jig ink. So you're going to ink up the dress in that and the flower. So this one and the flower. And I already went ahead and did that. It doesn't show up in video very well because it's an extremely subtle color. And I did that because I wanted to be able to write on the front of the inside. So I wanted to be able, for people to be able to just subtly see it in the background and to be able to see over it with the writing. So you can barely see it, but it is there. And the congratulations stamp, you're going to stamp that in the Jet Black StazOn ink. Alright, so then stamp, the way to look, so stamp that on this bottom corner over here, stamp these two corners with that flower stamp, and just stamp the dress sort of somewhere in the middle. And I'm actually going to use snail adhesive to adhere that to the inside of the card so that you can't see the imprint of any glue. And I'm not going to use a whole bunch of it because it doesn't really need it. And make sure you get it closer to the edge, to this edge, than the other one, because you want to be able to see, you want it to line up well, like that. Alright. So that's what it should look like. This is the beautiful card. I had a lot of fun making this, and I hope you all do too. And send it to the next bride and groom that you know. Until the next time, happy stamping!